What's up, people? My name is James Blissett, professional gambler and founder of Lucrative MMA, which is my handicapping service where I help people make money from betting on MMA. I was just out to lunch. I got back and I realized, damn, I haven't done a main event breakdown for this week. And as you know, every single week I've been doing a main event breakdown and multiple weeks been doing a full card breakdown. And I thought I hadn't put it out yet. I usually get it out by Monday. It's Tuesday, approached in Wednesday. So I thought I'm not going to go to sleep without getting it done. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. Sergei Pavlovich versus Curtis Blaydes. It's a banger of a fight. I'm about to break it down. I'm going to speak about how we can get some value on the betting lines. As always, I look through things from a gambling perspective. Yeah, I can tell you who wins the fight. Yeah, I can tell you who, in my opinion, wins the fight, how they win it. But I'm more interested in telling you how to make money on this fight. That's what this whole channel is dedicated to. And if you haven't, like and subscribe, because you need to be watching the videos I've been putting out over the last few weeks. A hell of a lot of free content. I mean, it's all free. It's on YouTube, but a hell of a lot of good content. Because there's a lot of content out there, but this is really good content that's going to help you make money when you're betting on MMA, not just when you're betting on Sergei Pavlovich versus Curtis Blaydes. Been really busy this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to a full card breakdown. I will do my best, but there's 2 Bellator cards and 1 UFC card and a bunch of regionals, LFA, Cage Warriors, I think. And if you don't know, Bellator is my best performing organization. So out of all of the organizations, UFC, Cage Warriors, Rising, whatever it is, Bellator is my main performing one. I've made the most money on Bellator in terms of ROI. And there's 2 Bellator events this weekend. So I'm really excited for this weekend. I think we're going to make a lot of money. If you want to come on board and get all of my official picks and predictions for Bellator, for both the Bellator cards, my best performing organization, and the UFC card this week, then you can sign up via the link in bio, lucrativemmabetting.com. But without further ado, I'm going to get into Curtis Blaydes versus Sergei Pavlovich.
Saturday, April 22nd, the UFC returns with a clash of top 5 heavyweights. On the hunt for his 6th consecutive knockout, Sergei Pavlovich looks to use his thunderous power to turn back former title challenger Curtis Razor Blaydes, intending to make a statement and vault himself into title contention. Don't miss UFC Fight Night, Pavlovich versus Blaydes, live only on ESPN+.
Great fight. I can't wait for it. Someone's going to sleep in this fight, you would expect. It's a 5-round fight. It's a main event. 5-round heavyweight main event, as they make quite often. But I'll be very surprised if I see this fight go 5 rounds. I will start off by saying that I do think it has more of a chance of going late than what 90% of people will be saying this week. I haven't listened to one breakdown about this fight so far. Oftentimes, I don't listen to other breakdowns because I don't want them to influence my decision. Sometimes after I've done all of my tape and I got my bets locked in, at the end of the week, I will listen to some of my fellow community members' breakdowns and support them, like their stuff, retweet their stuff, comment on their stuff. But for the most part, I don't listen to other breakdowns because I don't want to pollute my head. But I'm pretty sure that everyone's going to say this finishes within the first 5 minutes, right? Everyone's going to be on the under 1.5 here. And I don't blame them. I am of the opinion that it has more of a chance of going late than I'd say most people will say, right? And when I say going late, I'm not talking about 4th and 5th round. I'm mainly talking 2nd and 3rd round. And I guess the reason for that, the reason why I'm saying that straight off the bat is because I'm actually picking Curtis Blaydes to win, right? So my official prediction is Curtis Blaydes to win. And for that reason, I feel like if you're on the Curtis Blaydes side, you lean more that the fight's going to go late, right? I don't think anyone out there is really picking Curtis Blaydes to win within the first minute, like he did against Tom Aspinall. I know that was obviously a knee injury, but I don't think anyone's really going to be picking Curtis Blaydes within the first 2 minutes, but a lot of people will be picking him after the first 2 minutes, right? So since I'm on the Curtis Blaydes side, I do think there is a chance he goes a little bit later because I do think he's going to implement the wrestling here. I tell you what, he's going to need to implement the wrestling here if he wants to win this fight because Sergei Pavlovich is a demon on the feet. He has a hell of a lot of power. But, I wasn't going to go straight into this, but I kind of want to, I just feel like the conversation's naturally flowing there. So I'm just going to get straight into this. I don't think Sergei Pavlovich is as hard a hitter as some people think. I think in this fight, he's going to crack Curtis Blaydes, and I think Curtis Blaydes is going to eat the shot. Now, that would actually be quite contrary to, I guess, most people's belief. But I think Curtis Blaydes has an iron chin. He's been knocked out twice, right? Once against Francis Ngannou and once against Derek Lewis. So let's just go through those knockouts, because I think a lot of people are going to be speaking this week about Pavlovich touches Curtis once, he's down, he's dead. And it could happen. They're 265-pound men. They're heavyweights. And Pavlovich is probably the hardest puncher in the entire UFC heavyweight division right now. You know, maybe on par with Lewis or something. I would actually say Lewis potentially hits a bit harder, but I know Pavlovich knocked him out. But whatever, you know, we can argue until the cows come home about that. There's no real way of knowing. But I also think Curtis Blaydes has one of the best chins in the heavyweight division. For some reason, Curtis Blaydes' chin is a little bit underappreciated, but I've seen him eat insane bombs from Francis Ngannou in their first fight. Wobbled all over the place. Almost dropped him to one knee at one point, I think. I watched this fight recently, a few days ago. Both of his Francis Ngannou fights. And he ate those shots. And you know what happened in the second fight, in the rematch? He got dropped badly with an overhand right, and he ate those shots again. He went down on one knee, got back up to his feet. How often do we see people get back up to their feet after being knocked down by Francis Ngannou? Doesn't happen. Curtis Blaydes has an elite chin. Elite chin. He got knocked down twice in that fight. You know, like he got back up to his feet and he kind of just got thrown down by another punch. He was getting back up to his feet when the fight was stopped. I'm not going to say it was an early stoppage because his equilibrium was completely gone. But I will say that he was not unconscious. Either time he fought Francis Ngannou. The first time he went 10 minutes. The second time he went about a minute, 40 seconds or something. Imagine fighting 11 minutes with Francis Ngannou and being conscious. Doesn't happen a lot, right? There's a reason why it happened. Curtis Blaydes has an elite chin. So that leads me on to this fight. Is Curtis Blaydes going to be able to eat the punches of Pavlovich? Well, I don't know. I mean, no one knows. But what I will say is that he has a hell of a lot more chance than Pavlovich's recent opponents, right? We know Tai has a good chin, Tai Tuivasa. He has a good chin, right? He doesn't have as good chin as Curtis Blaydes. His chin isn't as good as Curtis Blaydes. As I said, Curtis Blaydes is one of the best chins in the UFC heavyweight division. One of the best chins. Not saying the best, but one of the best. So Pavlovich knocks out Tai Tuivasa. Okay. Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has a good chin. Honestly, he does. Another person who has a good chin. But we know Derek Lewis can kind of quit at times. And I don't really think he quit in that Pavlovich fight, but he just got overwhelmed, you know. Obviously, he hits hard. But again, he wasn't unconscious, guys, you know. We see Francis Ngannou putting these people out unconscious. Tai wasn't unconscious, and Lewis wasn't unconscious. And then we go on to Pavlovich's other knockouts. Shamil Abdurakhimov. Obviously, it's hard, but Shamil, I don't think he has a chin at this point in his career. I mean, one touch and he fell, is what it is. I guess the point I'm trying to drill home is that there definitely is a world here in which Curtis Blaydes eats Pavlovich's shots. And yeah, that's a massively hot take, right? That's a hot take. But I think in this fight, Pavlovich is going to touch Curtis on the chin. Curtis may be wobbled, but I think Curtis is going to eat those shots. I honestly do. And I think he's going to come back and I think he's going to wobble Pavlovich. I think Curtis can hurt Pavlovich on the feet here. Going into even more of a hotter take. I think Curtis is arguably a better striker than Sergei Pavlovich. I certainly think that they're in the same ballpark. You know, if you want to give a slight edge to Pavlovich, be my guest. Slight edge to Curtis, be my guest. I think they're in the same ballpark, right? I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when Curtis is able to not only eat the shots of Pavlovich, but also come back and hurt him on the feet. Now, look, I may be straying into the wild side here. This is a heavyweight fight. Anything can happen. Of course, he can get his lights turned off, but I do actually lean to him being able to take a couple of shots from Pavlovich. And then we speak about the wrestling, right? Is he going to be able to take Pavlovich down? I mean, well, the guy can take anyone down. He took Francis Ngannou down, and Francis Ngannou is an absolute beast of a man, right? Is he going to be able to take Sergei down? Yeah, of course he will. Why not? I don't see why not. Sergei doesn't seem to be, to me, to have amazing takedown defense. Yeah, he's got decent takedown defense. I don't think it's out of this world at all. And we haven't really seen it tested. I had to go back to some early regional fights. Can't even remember the names of the guys, like Bagayev and people with OEV and AEV, OV and AV at the end of their name, right? And they tried to take Pavlovich down. They got him down a few times, but he was able to get back up, won the fight. In that one fight, I remember, went to decision. So I do think they can be taken down by Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes can take anyone in the division down, so I'm not surprised if he takes Sergei down here. I guess what I see as the deciding factor in this fight is that Curtis can hang with Pav on the feet. He can knock Pav out on the feet, but he can dominate in the wrestling, and he's got better cardio. I think he's basically better everywhere, other than arguably on the feet. But arguably, he is better. He just doesn't have the one-touch power like Sergei Pavlovich. So I've got the complete all-round better fighter, in my opinion, in Curtis Blaydes. He's a much better wrestler. He can win the fight via wrestling. He's arguably a better striker, if not in the same ballpark. He can win the fight with the striking. Arguably, he has a better chin, if not the same chin. I don't think Curtis Blaydes has a worse chin than Pavlovich. We have no evidence for that. I've seen Pavlovich knocked all over the place on the regional scene. I've seen him hurt badly with the elbows from one big shot from Alistair Overeem from top position. So I'm not going to sit here and say Curtis Blaydes has a worse chin than Pavlovich at all. In fact, it might be better. We just haven't really seen Pav's chin tested too much in the recent years. Curtis has the better cardio by far. So if this fight gets past 7.5 minutes, I massively favor Curtis. Curtis turns into a minus 300 favorite for me. He's minus 160 at the betting window at the moment. And that's really all there is to it, man. Curtis Blaydes can win this fight wherever it goes. Can win it on the feet, can win it on the ground, can win it early, can win it late. Pavlovich, in my opinion, can only win it on the feet, and he can only win it early. Now, will he do that? Maybe. There is some dynamic Francis Ngannou type feature to this fight where, Curtis Blaydes was a favorite against Francis Ngannou twice, right? In both their meetings for a reason, because he's the better minute winner. And he's going to be the better minute winner against most people he fights, right? He's got the takedowns in his back pocket and he's a good striker. Obviously, Pavlovich has the chance to knock him out early. It can happen. But I don't really think it warrants him being plus 130 here. I feel like he should be at least plus 170. I mean, you can never make Pavlovich like a plus 300 because his knockout ability is just too extreme, where you can never make him a massive favorite. But I would line Curtis Blaydes as a bit of a bigger favorite here. I have to favor him in virtually everywhere the fight goes, apart from the first 2 minutes on the feet. I honestly think Curtis Blaydes can knock out Sergei Pavlovich on the feet towards the end of the first round, let alone the second and third. He's going to be picking him apart. So it's all about how Curtis approaches this fight, man. If he shoots, look, Pavlovich has really, really well-timed uppercuts. I saw him do it in the fight. He got taken down on a regional scene multiple times. He actually started to read the takedowns and combat with an uppercut. And that's exactly how Curtis Blaydes got knocked out against Derek Lewis. So that can definitely happen this time out. So Curtis Blaydes has to be careful of that uppercut, especially when he's shooting in. But I just feel like if Pavlovich doesn't get the early knockout, I think Curtis Blaydes is going to piece him up, either on the ground or on the feet. And obviously, it's a bad look, Pavlovich getting completely dominated on the ground as soon as he was taken down. I don't think it's going to be super... I'll say Sergei will put up some resistance in terms of the takedown defense, of course. But when he's on top, when Curtis Blaydes is on top, he might just run through this guy, man. We haven't seen Sergei on bottom. The last time I saw Sergei on bottom, he got rammed through. The last time before that was some bum. The guy had about 40 fights, so he's not a bum. But, I mean, Sergei didn't look great on bottom there either. Curtis is heavy on top, man. Heavy elbows. Heavy on top. So, I have to favor Curtis here. And without me repeating myself, I'm going to leave it there. I think Curtis Blaydes gets this fight done via TKO. I'd say in round 2 or round 3. I'd say he comes through early adversity. I say he eats a shot or two. He gets wobbled, but he doesn't get put out. And that's it. That's the breakdown. Curtis Blaydes to win via TKO round 2 or round 3. It's going to be a good fight though, man. I can't wait for it. Both massive guys. Big guys for the heavyweight division. Big reach advantage. I mean, big reach, both of them. Both of them have an 80-plus inch reach. It's going to be a great fight. I've got many bets for this weekend. And if you want to start cashing money with me, earning real money on my service, rather than just watching my free videos, then you can sign up to lucrativemmabetting.com. It'll be one of the best decisions you've ever made. We've been on an insane run this this year. For the last 4 years, we've been on an insane run. But we've been on a massive run this year. Very good run. We're already over 50 units in profit. I think 56 units in profit for this year alone. And we're not even halfway through the year. We're well on track to have a plus 100 unit year, even more. We're on track to have about 140 unit year if we continue at the pace we're going. And that's what I'm trying to do. And definitely that's what we're doing this weekend, because there's 2 Bellator events. And as I said, Bellator is my best performing organization. So I'm ready to smash Bellator. Bellator was responsible for our biggest night of the year, which was a 22 unit win. I think it was in February or March. We won 22 units on a Bellator card. And now we've got 2 this weekend. And on top of that, last week was our second biggest week of the year. We won 15 units on the UFC, 14.8 or something. And that was our second biggest weekend of the year, meaning that we're on a massive hot streak right now. We've won the last 2, 3, 4, 5 weekends or something. We've won a lot of weekends in a row. And this is a great time to join my service. The prices are extremely cheap for the value that I provide. I give sports betting training courses, and I've updated the elite section. And if you sign up for an elite monthly package, you will get insane value. You get full card breakdowns where I break down every single fight on every UFC, Bellator, and PFL card every single week. So even fights that we don't have a bet on, I still break it down in full and give you my prediction of how the fight will go. And you can choose or not whether to make bets based off that. I also give you my favorite prop bets. I give you degenerate parlays, long shot prop bets. I also give you regional scene betting tips. Many things. I also give you my official betting leans. It means for some reason I'm not playing it. Maybe I have exposure on the fight already, but I still really like a specific bet. I've passed on it myself, but I put it out on my website. Last week I put 3 of those up and 2 hit. And in the long shot prop odds section, last week we hit a plus 950, plus 1,000 in some places on Brandon Royval via KO. So we're smashing it so far. And if you want to join up, the link is in bio. I'll see you in the members area to have fun, to cash these tickets. But with that being said, good luck everybody this weekend. I hope you cash whether you join my service or not. And I hope this video and the free content on my YouTube helps you. Good luck and smash the books.